When's the last time you painted, Brian? It's been a while, right?
I mean, I painted at home like a couple times, but basically because of some crazy work stuff and losing momentum, it's basically been 5 months.
Okay, so this is like first plein air in 5 months?
This first plein air.
Awesome. So are you going to do, are you doing like a 30-minute study
I'm doing a 30-minute for this view right here.
Looks like 8x10 maybe? Is that an 8x10, Maura?
8x10.
8x10.
She just gave this to me for a quickie, so yeah.
That was so
I'm
nice.
loving it.
All right.
Thank you, Maura.
All right, good luck. You're doing a portrait of Brian, huh?
Right, I'm gonna warm up with a 30-minute portrait of Brian with the ocean in the background. That's the plan anyway.
And there he is, Brian in all his glory.
That's right, there's his hat.
The hat is key, right?
Yeah, so it puts a lot of the face in shadow, so I don't need to worry about those details.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do a 30-minute of this view as well, and I'm painting over an old painting, my usual palette of colors. When I paint over an old painting, I don't do a detailed sketch at all. I've just got a horizon here and then sort of an outline of the rocks like that. So yeah, the horizon and then the outline of these rocks.
Oh my goodness.
7 more minutes.
Yeah,
but a portrait gets double time.
Yeah,
sure.
no.
He's got my double chin, Michael. Brilliant.
There is no double chin there. There is no.
That is terrible.
No,
you don't have a double chin. Yeah, looking good. Well, let's go see Brian. Let's see what you're up to. All right, you're not doing a portrait, so you have no excuse.
I have no excuses. I guess I'm done. But I'm not sure how to get this to really look like it's those rocks that are most close to us.
Well, what I would say is, like, if I look out here, there's a real strong dark pattern here in the lower portion. So I don't know, you could kind of extend the dark portion out a little bit. So that you're kind of working with this right here. I mean, you could do that. Look at it as an abstract pattern. Are these shapes interesting? In other words, like, do you like this just purely as an abstract design? Do you like the shape of these rocks? So you don't have to stay true to what's out here. I mean, it's basically, we're using nature as raw materials to create a good painting. So yeah, you could squint at this, look for some sort of interesting rock patterns, and then try to put them on there.
Cool.
All right.
All right, thanks, Michael.
All right, so I'm a little bit behind here. This is 5 minutes. What I've done is just quickly scrubbed in some opaque colors to cover up the old painting. So now I'm just gonna start cleaning up a bit and reinforcing some of the colors and values. So mixing up a dark here using ultramarine blue and some burnt sienna. And I'm gonna squint out at the scene here and just kind of look for the darkest darks. So I'm reinforcing some of the darks, but I don't wanna break up the overall light-dark pattern.
I love it.
I like.
Please don't like that.
Well, I think I'm
Throw
going
it away
to.
in my trunk.
Okay, yeah, you can have it. You can have it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, just splash some color up there.
I'm gonna splash some color. I got
Call it good.
30 seconds left.
I love it. No, you really got my terrible posture. You got the easel perfectly. You got my saggy pants.
Oh gosh. So I only had that 7 minutes left, and I just whipped the rest in. And honestly, that was kind of fun, but it's kind of a mess.
It's kind of, it's actually kind of Brian's fault.
It is kind of my fault.
I kept moving.
No, it's what Sargent said, you know, when he does portraits, they bring me a potato and they expect me to paint a peach.
Yeah.
I think it looks great.
Well, I mean, okay, for 30 minutes, but I think I took a little bit longer just doing the drawing. And I think in 30 minutes, all you can do is big shapes and try and get the right color.
Yeah, I mean, trying to do a figure in 30 minutes is super challenging. It is, because the drawing alone could take 30 minutes, you know?
You did it. I am deeply grateful.
Oh, you even got his gloves.
I know. My super gloves.
I'm trying to put those, like, you know, the sky reflections on, but I feel like these are too light. Reflections are one of those things that are easy to overlook, but they're so important. It gives the water that sort of translucent effect. There's a bit of reflection out in the distance as well. All right.
Looks good.
All right, a bit of titanium white with cadmium yellow lemon. The white water I put in before was titanium white with a bit of ultramarine, so it's kind of leaning towards purple. So if I add a titanium white with a bit of yellow, then there's going to be the complementary relationship there, which, you know, hopefully will create a feeling of light. It does. And maybe out in this area here. And using a fairly big brush, so I don't have a lot of control. It's number 8. All right, quick check-in with Brian here because he's going like crazy mode. All right, looking good. All right, so now Maura's going to paint this scene using my equipment and my process. All right, so mixing up a nice light color there. Yeah, that's good. And even if the color is not exactly accurate, we can come over and adjust, and all of that makes it look more interesting. Now, you can see the value already. It needs to be lighter, right? So actually I would add yellow as opposed to white, and the reason is if you add yellow, just pile the yellow in there, because the white is going to cool it down and you want to create that light effect.
Got it.
So yes, much better.
That's pretty bold.
Much. No.
Okay,
You need to look at the contrast out here. It's huge contrast. Keep that brush loaded. Mix up a huge pile if you need to, because you're starving the brush right there.
Yeah, and holding it like this.
And how do you feel about holding it?
I feel like I'm finger painting.
Okay, good, because
Yeah.
you don't want to be too, that allows you to move the paint quickly and not get too careful, like not be too careful. All right, so you got a nice light dark pattern.
Okay.
Let's check the time here. Wow, okay, you did that in 6 minutes.
Okay,
All right, so you did 6 minutes. What I would do next is look at the color of the green water there, and then just paint over like with the water, the dark water color. Okay, and I see you lighten a lot with white.
Yeah.
Okay, see that? The problem with lightening with white is chalk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so put it up there and see what happens. All right, so I would just, I would throw some yellow in there. Maybe make a purer green.
Ultramarine and cad?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, see how that looks. And so then I'm looking at like the white water patterns at this point, and all I'm gonna do is leave where I want the white water pattern. And I'm thinking of the white water pattern as like a geometric shape. You can already see there's kind of some interesting things happening. Like, I actually already like that. Oops. But no, what I'm saying is keeping an eye for things that are just sort of naturally evolving. All right.
Okay, but there's no white water right up here or even over here.
Well, there is, depending. Like right now, there will be, like, say here. See, there's going to be a break on there, right there.
Yeah.
So it's constantly changing.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, for now, the main thing is just to get the shape of the darker water. And you can loosen that up with the liquid, so you can cover it. Yeah, loosen it up quite a bit. There you go. And then just cover it really quickly. Again, keeping an idea of where that white water pattern is going to be.
Okay, and then down here, I feel like that's all going to be a lighter color.
Yeah, it seems like there's some more, a little bit more, it's a little greener down there. So maybe just add a little, maybe some of that mixture to it to kind of green it up a bit.
I think it's lighter than that. Can I add white?
No, add yellow.
Okay. Cad?
Yep. A lot of people just lighten with white all the time and wonder why their paintings don't have like a warm light to them.
That's really interesting.
Okay, I would clean your brush, and then for this white water pattern here, I would just use titanium white, get a big chunk out of there. Nope, more. Scoop out more. More.
Oh.
Okay.
That's a lot.
No,
That's
no, it isn't.
That's how much I scoop out for the whole day.
You need, I want you to scoop out, there you go, that's better, right there. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now I want you to add a little bit of, you might even be able to get away with that little drop of ultramarine right there, and mix that in. And add liquid. All right, maybe a little bit more ultramarine to that. Maybe use that drop because that won't overwhelm it. Okay.
I may have just overwhelmed it.
No, I love that it's, I see how that brush is so covered. All right, now just kind of mop on mop on that white water.
Oh, that's too thick.
Actually, loosen it up. Loosen it up
Yeah.
with some with some
liquid.
yeah, liquid.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
And remember, this is in motion too, so like the more energy you put into that, the better. There you go. There you go. And these shapes are big, so you can like...
Should I put a wave here? I don't think so, because we've got that line there.
Yeah. All right, and for this section right down here,
in there it's going to be
all right,
purple.
but here's what I want. Well, there'll be some shadow in here.
Right.
So you'll leave the shadow areas unpainted, but here's what I want you to do.
Yeah.
I want you to cover this right here, all of this, in literally the count of 5.
All in what, this white?
Yes.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One thing you can do that I find is really helpful in applying the paint quickly, I want there to be irregularities in there. I don't want it to be careful. I want you to go over this area here, holding the brush at the end, really loose and just messy and energy.
Got it.
All right.
Ready? At the end. Oh, man.
Holding it like a magic wand. Yes, and kind of swing it. Energy in that brush. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That is a mess. That's what that is.
It's not as messy as you think.
Okay.
And then, yeah, keep it going. Load it again. You want a ton of paint. You want a lot of paint on there. You can always come back and tidy up later, but you want to get that energy in there, you know? Are you having fun or am I bugging you?
I'm surprised how different this is from how I paint.
Right, right. So it's just fun to, yeah, it's like
It's
trying on
astonishingly
somebody
different.
else's shoes.
Yeah, it's...
All right, maybe put a little bit of white over,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
you could put some white in those areas too.
Okay, yeah, next you're gonna paint one of my little 3x3 inch with my tiny brushes.
Oh my God, I don't think I could. My vision's not good enough. While you're painting, I'm gonna check the clock here. Let's see. Actually, we're 15 minutes in.
Okay, we're good.
All right, good. So, look at that, so funny. It's almost like, oh, that works, leave it. Left over from the old painting.
Not sure that I would keep that.
No, I'd eliminate, because like the other thing is, this is kind of a light, you know, the scene here is sort of light and the sky there is gray, whereas the sky here in the distance is more of a, like a cerulean.
Is this your cerulean here?
There's
that cobalt teal?
cerulean's right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
That is cerulean?
I mean, that's my phthalo. So wipe it off first here. Wipe it off because a little of that goes a long way.
Yeah, I don't use phthalo blue. I use phthalo green. Is that good or is that still
Yeah,
too
that's
much?
good. Now mix that in there and see what happens.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, there you go. All right, and here's be a fun experiment. I want you to cover that sky. I'm not kidding. In like 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, but maybe I left that because maybe we want to put that lavender.
Oh, you might. Okay, all right.
I don't know.
That was good though. That's the whole idea, is to kind of just not be afraid to just put it on there super fast. You don't have to be careful at all. Because all of this we can come back and we can fix it, and a lot of that spontaneity and energy, you know, just contributes to the painting. Oh, I like that. The only problem is you have 3 seconds to put it in.
Man.
1,
I just got some green from the ocean.
2, 3. All right, 4 seconds.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, that's cool. Like I like the random things going on in here. Maybe just cover those dark spots. Already having that cerulean in there definitely changed the the light effect of the painting. So you have about 6 minutes left. So what I'm gonna say, what I would do is you're gonna have to start prioritizing. So you're starting to get into detail here, and that's gonna just take up time, and also it's gonna kind of make the painting inconsistent in a way. All right, so what I would do is decide where you want a couple waves and then get your sky reflections in there, and then you can come over with that white water, the yellow mixture of white water to create a pop of light. And that's all you're gonna have time for. I don't even mind that this is like, you know, all scrubby. Like, I like that. That's fine.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me
there
either.
needs to be more light in the water, I think. So go with like a warm green in here and exaggerate it. Kind of closer to this green right here.
That looks very green. It looks too green, but let's
I can tell you're already gonna need more yellow, but yeah, I'd put a little more yellow, because when that gets indoors, it's gonna be dark. That's cool.
Wow.
And then, yeah, I like it. So you want to exaggerate those warm colors to kind of have a light effect. And then you don't want it to be just isolated. So like maybe have bits of that in the foreground as well, just random, and maybe down here as well, like around the rocks to define the rocks. That's good. And then also maybe some over here to have some balance. Okay, and then how about now coming across with some of that sky reflected? Yeah, and you can go fairly pure, and don't be afraid, dig in more paint for sure. And then a little titanium. That'll be a little dark, but a little titanium white, just a touch though, to give it some opacity. It looks a little dark, you know, so maybe lighten it up a little more. Yeah, that's getting closer, but you need more paint. If the brush doesn't have enough paint on it, it'll scrape off the paint underneath. Got it. So yeah, so loading that, there you go. And you can step back and see, does that look like reflected sky? And I think it does. So
I think it's bold.
Yes, but we want bold. This is like a bold scene here, and so that's the whole idea, is if we approach something like the ocean and don't capture that boldness, then we're missing part of the key, you know, one of the key elements. Load that brush.
Oh man.
That brush is starving.
You're right.
Even more,
totally
you gotta load that up.
There's like nothing here.
Yeah. That's right, so grab some more. Don't be shy with it, grab some more. And then grab some more of that. You got titanium white over there. And then a little more liquid too to loosen it up. Yeah, because if you try to go over other color, there you go, and then do a stroke and leave it. So like that first stroke was good, and then you came over and wiped it out. So kind of do like load it, do a stroke, load it, do a stroke. Okay, now load it again. Okay, load it again. Even more, so really low. Oh, you're starving again.
I know. But that is so interesting to see that about me.
Yeah. See, yeah, you're very
I know.
You're very careful with your quantities there. Remember, it's my paint.
I always have been.
All right, so that's good. Well, like, I mean, I'm fine. Like a few little bits of sky reflection in here, so you get the relationship between warm and cool, like on over the green. See how that creates a sense of like translucency? Like you've got that surface reflection and then the color underneath, maybe a few pops there, just so it's not so isolated. Okay, timer went up, but we're gonna do the quick yellow and white along here.
Like more white than I use in an entire day.
Yeah, there you go. Now thin it. That's probably not going to be enough, but it'll get you started. That's all right, because you want the brush to be so loaded that you can like just lightly drag it over areas. Now you want this to be random, but what I usually do is I'll add the yellows right next to where the blues are, because I know that that blue sort of violet relationship is going to create light. And also, I also want to put those lightest lights where I want to draw the most attention. And so I'd say like you know, bits in here, right along this edge, and keep it random and kind of keep it quick.
Oh man, that's a mess.
And another thing you could do is mimic the way the water, like imagine that there's, and then load that brush again. Maybe put some out here. And again, just simple strokes and not, let me show you, I'll show you real quick.
Yeah.
So what I do is I'll load it, and then I'm holding at the end, and I'm kind of just like looking for patterns, and I'm trying to move it so that it is random and messy. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's done. You know, and do something like that over there. You can twist the brush or whatever. You don't want it to look too controlled, but you want that thing to be loaded.
Okay.
All right, so how was the experience? Like, what did you take away from this?
It was so interesting. First of all, you know, compare this brush to my brushes, right? Okay. Compare that size to, you know, this size. So then you had me holding the brush like this, which really was the equivalent of finger painting.
Right.
You had me using 3 to 5 times as much paint as I normally use. So it really felt out of control.
Yeah.
Also, it was really interesting how you told me not to use so much white.
Right.
So all those things combined, I don't like how that turned out, but it was such a valuable experience. I feel as though when you use a lot of paint, that's confidence right there.
Yeah.
You know, and I go very slowly, and I also like being able to do layers.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why I don't go thick on the paint. But I do think that it's a matter of confidence.
It looks great. There's a lot of energy. One thing I noticed is that, you know, that if the brush isn't loaded, you just end up scraping off what's underneath. So if you're going to try to get multiple levels, you got to load the brush. And I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm loading the brush, and if you're scraping off the layer underneath, then there's not enough paint on there.
I am often scraping. That was a really interesting lesson.
You letting somebody take over, Brian?
Yeah, why not? She's got it. She knows what she's doing.
Do you paint?
Here.
Have you painted before?
She knows
Yes.
all.
Oh, okay,
Here,
okay.
Yes, I have. Wonderful.
She
Oh,
knows
good.
what she's doing.
This is the last one that I paint.
Oh, that's what you painted? Let's see if I can
Yes.
get it. Oh, yeah,
Let me give you
nice.
liquid and
Are you guys
instead of that.
visiting from somewhere?
Oh, yes, from Chile.
Oh, from Chile?
Yeah.
Oh, well, welcome. Look at her go. See, look how she's
Yeah.
holding the brush. She knows what she's
getting it
doing.
going. Exactly what you did, bringing that blue into the rocks.
Yeah, big brush.
Big brush.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, there you go. Okay.
Like, I could tell her style was a little
Yeah.
different. Like,
Yeah.
she was putting these strokes
Yeah.
in right here.
Right.
Did she put the yellows in as well, or was that you?
I had started to
You
do
had
that.
started
I kind of
doing that.
overdid the yellow though.
No. When you step back, it's all right. You held the brush at
I
the
was-
end.
Yeah, finger
Okay,
painting
cool.
style.
8 by
And
10
then-
in 30 minutes.
Right,
Nice.
8 by 10, 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's definitely, that's loose for you, huh?
Yeah, it's very loose
Yeah,
me.
for sure. I could see that. Lots of nice transparency in there, and yeah, and
And
energy too. So
I was
that's
really
cool.
noticing as I kept going for the white. I'm like, oh, maybe try yellow instead.
Yeah. Oh, so did you lighten up with yellow more this time?
With yellow instead of white.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have nice, warm, cool relationships there. Awesome.
It's not done, but it's 30 minutes.
It's 30
You know,
minutes, right?
Tried to
right.
get in what I could in 30 minutes.
Yeah. All right, so here's another look at the first painting I did. I did come in and darken the sky reflections on the surface of the water. These sort of ultramarine blue color here. They were too light. It's a really delicate balance between the value of the reflections and the water that's underneath. And it's usually, they're pretty close in value. It's more of a temperature shift almost than a value shift. All right, I decided to do another 11 by 14, but set the clock at 15 minutes. This is just a quick sketch of a scene looking north. It's a scene I've contemplated painting before, but I always felt like I wasn't sure how to compose it, so I thought it might be a fun experiment. I decided to keep the land mass up on the upper third and then have the water sort of lead the eye into the painting, and I tried to capture some of the reflections in the wet sand here. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you'd like to see some extra videos and help support the channel, there's a Patreon link down below. Also, I will link to Maura and Brian's Instagram down below as well. Other than that, stay creative, and I'll see you guys in the next video.